Hey Flattered, yeah, since I know a lot of people don't want to sit through a whole live stream to get to the point, I thought I'd do a little small cutout section for you guys. Enjoy.
Yes, my favorite way to describe entropy is a cup of coffee in the cool room and how a temp reaches equilibrium and hot always goes to cold. Exactly, that's one of the ways entropy works. It's always hot to cold, high to low pressure.
Think of an inflated balloon that hasn't been tied and is simply pinched between someone's fingers. Once the person releases the balloon, what is going to happen? Experience tells us that the gas inside the balloon will escape rapidly from the opening, moving from high pressure to low pressure. This will propel the balloon through the air until finally we are left with a deflated balloon. The gas that was once in the balloon is now dispersed throughout the surroundings.
It's decay. Everything's got an order to it in reality. So nothing is going to recreate itself, go back, because that concept of time has already gone back. You can't go back. It goes. That's why you see, if you see someone editing a video and they make it that it streams, let's say someone swinging, for instance, and they're taking a video of that person swinging, and they reverse the video, it looks off. Or even making an egg, frying an egg, and they reverse the video, it doesn't look normal because that's not reality. That goes against it. That would be the reversal entropy if it had to play up that way. There we go. Yes, Captain. Entropy, the German entropy measure of disorder of a system. Exactly. Yes, this is where the people get confused and they say it's just a measurement, quantitative measurement. Which is, yes, it's quantitative, but it's based on physicality.
One of these bulbs, some bromine, and in the other I have a vacuum. And if I open the tap between these two, you will see spontaneously the bromine rush from one to the other. Now that is the simplest change we can have, perhaps, because all that happens is a change in entropy. In this case, the expansion into a vacuum, nothing else is involved. There's no energy change, there's no temperature change, there's no change except entropy.
That's why when you have someone saying, no, entropy can't increase. Of course it increases. It has an error of time. It takes time. It depends on the system and the environment it's in. Can you do anything about it, really? No, because it's a natural law. It's just how it's a tendency. It's how law works. That's how nature works. So, another example of entropy is, I wanted to play the video as well because I made that barbecue that I built. Also, videos that's out. There's 2-part series. Also, going to put in the link down below for those that haven't watched it. Just chatted some flat Earth. Anyway, when you have the fire, it's the same thing. Entropy. Where's that heat going? Because when it comes to entropy and the second law of thermodynamics, the entropy state of systems, it's just simply releasing that heat energy. That's why when you have gas, we're going to take, for instance, gas in an environment. Sorry, let's just quickly see what Phil says. Entropy is measured by the amount of heat energy per unit of temperature in Kelvin, especially. Exactly. That's what I'm trying to explain, Phil. Heat energy can be seen as a type of kinetic energy, but it is not kinetic energy. How can I say it? They explain it as the word of kinetic energy because when a gas particle never stops, it's always moving. The gas particles are always moving no matter where. The only way it can change direction is with hitting a physical something. So it can hit another gas particle to bounce and change direction, or it's going to hit another surface and bounce and change direction. What can that surface be? A rock, a tree, a person, or whatever, it doesn't matter. And the other reason is because it hits the container. You literally need to have that container to have that gas pressure to exist. Because if I had to take, let's say, an object like a rock, and I had a gas particle hitting against it, it's just going to change direction. It's never going to return. so there won't be any gas pressure. You're only going to have that gas pressure for a moment in time because it's only touched that surface of the object once. Entropy is ensuing. It's just going to the available space given to it. So entropy increases because it's going to disorder. The more it spreads out in the larger volume, the more disorder states it has. And yes, the sun is definitely a huge entropy generator. It's thermally expanding gas. It was not until 1865 that Clausius invented the word entropy. I wonder how he came up with the word entropy, actually. Anybody have a clue? Do you think how he came up with it? Were they just sitting around thinking, I have to think of some name for this state that's happening? Okay, Dr. Phil. Professor Phil. The reason we don't describe gas in terms of entropy is because you can move gas back to a state of order. It's a good point. Big water is returned to liquid. Yes, because you can compress the gas, which is a good point, Professor. But I'm just using gas as example because this is why a lot of us have conversations about entropy, actually, because of the second law of thermodynamics. Yes, you can get the system back as a whole, but that system has already gone past the time of error. So you're not really reversing it, you just altered it, you could say. So in reality, you haven't reversed anything, you just recreated a system of back to pressure equilibrium. In a vacuum, entropy has nothing to do with the movement of gas molecules, it's only about heat. No, actually, Phil, it's about the movement. You know why that's a contradicted statement? Because heat energy is about the movement. It's about the movement of the particles. The hotter they are, the faster the velocity. You